Hello again. We're going to do another reading here today. I wanted to go over a few things before I started though with this. And I'm going to use the Tarot Marseille again. And here's, I thought about this. I was going to do a reading with a different deck. But I'm trying to make this something that's valuable for everybody, no matter what deck you're using. The deck's not really that important. But what's nice about the Marseille deck is that it's basic. It's a basic deck. And you, if I use a specific deck like the Rider deck, then your cards might not look like these cards. Where the Marseille deck, there's no real image there to compare with anyway. So I think that works out better. I'd like to bring up something else too here. The difference of, well, one thing I wanted to mention, I talked about my books. And in my books, I want you to know that the Genius, I use the Rider deck there. So if you see me using the Marseille deck, I want to make sure you understand I don't use the Marseille deck in Genius at all. Actually, in either one of my books. And so I don't want you to be disappointed. Now, I use the Rider Waite deck in Genius, and the Essential Tarot, Unlocking the Mystery, I use the Rider deck, and I also use the Swiss, the 1JJ Swiss. I have them both in there. So if you look at my images, you'll see there's two cards on each card description. And I do that so you can see a variety of the differences between the two. I also in the Essential, I use the Swiss deck as far as the samples go for the Gypsy spread. And I just bring this up because I don't want you to think that I'm using the Marseille deck and you buy my book and you say, oh, he's not using the Marseille deck. So I read professionally with the Marseille. I teach usually with the Rider. And this is because most people today use a deck that's has more pictures in it than the Marseille has with just a basic deck. And I look at I think it's a good way to teach in this situation with Marseille, because I think of the Marseille deck as the book. If you were to think of a novel, here I got Moby Dick, the novel. Think of the Marseille deck as the novel, and think of the Rider deck as the motion picture. And if you have newer decks with better artwork than the Rider deck, think of that as Blu-ray. So they all have their advantages. Nothing wrong with any deck you're using if you like the deck. It's just most people are using the motion picture version of the tarot instead of the novel now. And that's fine. But I will say one thing. Usually if you read the book and then you go see the movie, most people will say they left a lot out in the movie and the book was better. So I just like to use that analogy. I also wanted to mention that if you have, you're looking at your deck and then we go through my reading here. If we, I wanted to go over 3 cards with you real quickly, and that's the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords on the Rider deck, and maybe the deck you're using as well. If you look at my meanings of the cards, I have the 8 of Swords. 8s represent advancement to me. And so I look at that as, and you look at that card and you say, well, there was the advancement in that card. Well, the issue that we're still talking about is advancement. It's just here we see it as advancement being restricted. And lots of times with our lives we have things that are blocking us from moving forward with things. And sometimes it's good to have an image like that to show that we need to release those bonds on our limitations, on what we're doing, things that are blocking us. We need to find ways to get rid of those so we can advance. So the issue is still advancement. It's just a matter of seeing it as we have to get rid of the restrictions that are stopping us from advancement. If I look at the Nine of Swords, I can see the same type of situation where I have attainment for nines, and we have this picture as a. You look at that and you say, well, how's that attainment? Well, swords are thought, and here we have a person who's just come to a realization, an awareness of a sad truth, maybe coming out of self-denial, facing facts. That's still an attainment. There's all sorts of attainments. Some of them are wonderful things. Some of them, they're all usually good things, but the thing is sometimes you have to go through a growing experience, and that can be very hard to attain. So that snapshot of the card is, I think of the cards like this as snapshots of the meaning. That's one way of seeing attainment, but it's a harsh one. And the Ten of Swords is the same type of thing. Tens are completion with me, and I see this obviously as a completion, but some completions are wonderful things. Retirement, graduation, maybe a marriage is a completion of another level of your relationship. There's a lot of different types of completions that are wonderful. So this is a snapshot of one that's a negative, but it's something that had to be done. An end of one cycle and the beginning of another cycle. It's still a completion. Where on the Marseilles deck, or traditional tarot, the Swiss the same way that I use in my book, Essential Tarot. It's just, the image is not so explicit. So you can see a Ten of Swords as a nice thing to have in the reading. Where in a deck that we use today most of the time, the images are very direct and explicit. Same with the Three of Swords on the Rider deck. Threes are creativity. And this picture shows getting creative in approaching some situation that's a difficult situation that's going to be heartfelt. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hurt. There's going to be hurt involved. But we have to look at our options here and ways to get something resolved. And maybe those options are not pleasant things to look into. But there's still things that we need to look into, looking at our options. Let's get creative. What can we do here? An example might be a separation or a divorce, or seeing a marriage counselor. Those are things that maybe a couple is thinking about. Those are not pleasant things to discuss and to look into, but we have to get creative now and look at what we want to do with this. Swords are thought, so thinking about it. Let's take a careful look at what we're doing here. So I bring those up because on a traditional deck like the Marseilles, you don't have those direct images. And I old school, I like that instead. But there's nothing wrong with the motion picture. So if your deck doesn't agree with a deck that I was using that has the direct images to it, it might throw a curveball into what I'm talking about. Where if I use the Marseilles deck, it doesn't do that. The deck you're using is fine, it'll work wonderful, and you could do just as good a reads as anybody else can do with that deck if you like that deck. And but just keep in mind that the pictures are, like I say, they're snapshots. The card can mean many different pictures, and it just happens to be that the card's image is showing one, and that's all it can show. The first video I did on this, the first YouTube I did, was called Professional Tarot Reader Vincent Pitisci Shares His Techniques Using Celtic Cross. I didn't know I was going to make another one. Otherwise I would have called that one Part 1 and this one Part 2 or something like that. I'm not too sure what I'm going to call this one yet. But if you like it, you might want to see the first one too. Anyway, I thought I would cover those things before we went any further. So now we're going to do an actual full reading here. And I think that's a good way to understand or learn the cards, is to see an actual reading being done. And this reading will be, just like the first one, it'll be on just how are we going to be able to attain the goals we're looking to attain. We all have goals we're trying to attain, trying to accomplish, places we're trying to be, quests we're trying to go on and be on, things we're trying to do. So this reading might be something we could all identify with in our lives in some way. And I hope you get something out of it. So let's get started. Okay, here we are. The Celtic Cross. We're looking at how we're going to accomplish the goals we're looking to accomplish, or the goal we're looking to accomplish. So first shuffle the cards, put the cards in front of the client, have them cut them into 3 packs. It's the way I usually do it. And then I turn over the top card of each pack and see which pack or top card seems the most appropriate to the question we're looking into. Eight of Pentacles, advancement. The Hermit, inner searching. And the Knight of Pentacles is action, taking action. Well, action seems appropriate. How are we going to take action on this goal we're looking into? So these 2 packs I'll take out of play. And the Knight of Pentacles becomes position 1 in our Celtic Cross. Celtic Cross is the spread we're using, the way I do it. Position 2 is the 4 of Cups. Taking action to stabilize something that we're really true to our heart. Things might seem a little erratic right now, and we want to stabilize that. We want to regulate it, secure it, make it predictable, where we can depend on it, make it more established in some way. 4 is our stability, Knight's our action. What we're doing right now, the efforts we're making right now, the King of Cups. King's our knowledge. So we're seeking a bunch of knowledge, information maybe, on this particular endeavor we're going through to make those advancements. 8's our advancement. So right now we are currently making efforts to move forward with this. Maybe we're active with it to some degree, but we want to go to another level of that degree. And that's where we're at right now. So we are taking actions, and we're probably seeing some type of progress with this. An asset we have going for us with the Ace of Pentacles. The asset seems to be we're in a good frame of mind to start new with this. And maybe we're in a good position, especially material-wise, to make new ideas or new situations happen. Nothing's really holding us back with that. An opportunity coming in the near future, or an opportunity we can create, is another king. King of Wands, King of Cups. So we're looking for knowledge. We're looking for more information. I do see us getting more information, more feedback, more understanding of the situation as time goes on. Again, we're flexible here in starting new situations, looking into new ideas. Number 7 position on our cross is in the pillar here. Number 7 is how we're perceiving our own question. We're perceiving this as a whole new beginning for us, a whole new direction as far as the way we're established with this situation. So we are seeing it as a new quest, or at least a new level to the same quest. The timing of the issue. Ace of Swords, timing. Aces are new beginnings. We got new beginnings over here, new situations that we're able to go into over here. We're free for that. Over here, the timing is right for new situations to come about. So the timing looks in your favor as far as, is it time to act on this, or should we wait for a better opportunity? Now seems to be the time to go ahead and take action in this. As we gather more information, we'll be able to do this. So this is probably going to happen fairly quickly. Our purpose, we have the Devil. Our purpose of this whole success of this happening is to eliminate procrastination, eliminate weak excuses, false limitations, to throw away those barriers and move forward. We feel maybe things have been holding us back in a false way, and we want to move forward here. So we want to shed away a lot of this negativity that we have in our lives, or at least if it's not negativity, seeing things for what they really are and what's really important, not a lot of false truths here. We're looking for the real thing here. 9 of Swords in the 10 position, attainment. We will attain what we're looking to attain if we follow through with the knowledge we get, and we can shed these blocks that are stopping us or holding us back. This is key, obviously, the Devil and our purpose. We need to shed away a lot of things that are holding us back in our life. We put a lot of limitations on ourselves. Things that it doesn't seem to fit right now, so it's very easy to put things off and say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start tomorrow. We need to shed that away. And as we get more information, as we do move forward with this, and as we start to get more knowledge about what it is we're doing, this will diminish a lot. We start to see what's real with all this information and knowledge we're getting. The false truths that we're seeing or that are involved in our quest start to diminish. And that happens because we are open to new ideas. we have an open mind here, and we're also in a situation where we can allow new ideas to come to us or to try them out. And we do want to advance. Our intentions are good. We want to advance. And that's all we're really trying to do right now, is advance. We want to stabilize things, yeah. We want to make something real and something tangible that we can really look at and say, I've done this. This is something I've done now. And that's important. So our efforts are good, our intentions are right. The timing is good. We understand that this is a new situation from what we're involved with right now, and that things would have to change. So there's things holding us back right here. But the key that I'm seeing here with this reading is this knowledge. Knowledge is important, and knowledge is, the more we understand, the less limitations we have. Your goal and the things you're trying to accomplish are really come from the heart. They really are important to you. And this might be causing a lot of disappointment in your life, maybe even frustration that you're not moving forward. You want to advance. This is stopping you. Advancement with the Eight of Swords. The devil here is a challenge in your purpose that's holding you back. We're faced with a lot of this in our lives, from influences outside of ourselves that we think we can't interfere with, that we can't do this because we're obligated in certain ways or it's not expected of us, and really this holds us back, and that's a false truth. You have to be responsible to self before you could be responsible to anybody else. And if you truly believe in what you're doing, you will move forward. And that's why this knowledge is important. As you move forward with things, you'll have more knowledge, and that will help you strengthen what you believe in. It'll make confirmations that you're seeing things in a true way, and that what you're really trying to accomplish is real, and it's worth looking into. This new beginning start, a new situation start, is an asset you have going for you. And something to keep in mind is that you can make these new paths, these new situations happen. Don't be discouraged in thinking you can't. You can make these changes. And you want to make them. You want to advance forward. So whatever your pursuit of happiness happens to be, the more information you get on it, the more you'll move forward, because you'll believe in it more. Your path is true with the Page of Cups. You're seeing your question in the right way. You want to stabilize and make something tangible, make something more real, make something more successful, more rewarding, more enriching than what it is right now. And you're willing to take action to do that. So you're on the right path. Your quest is good. Your position right now is good to make these changes. The immediate things you're doing right now to advance forward, seeking more knowledge. Knowledge is the key. And you're going to get that. Keep an eye out for more information. This could come from other people. It could come from other sources as well. But the more information you get allows the attainment to happen. Some sad truths might come around. If you have a deck that's showing the Nine of Swords as something that looks negative, these are things that might have to be confronted. Some of those might be bittersweet, or they might be sad in some ways. But you also know that it's important that to find happiness or to find any rewards in what you're trying to do, it's important to address. And they might not be. So it depends. If your position on your card looks, if the image on the card looks negative on that card, it doesn't necessarily mean attainment with the swords is negative. Nines are attainment. And I see you attaining your goals. Obviously, as we go down our path, there's going to be good things happening and there's going to be bad things happening. On any path, that's the way it goes. But I do see, overall, it's always rewarding to do. So you see your question very well. You know the path you're on is the right one. Seeking knowledge to advance forward, to shed away these negative blockages in your life is a very good goal too. Keep on that path. How you're going to get this done is the fact that you can make these changes. Nothing's really holding you back with this Ace of Pentacles. And the more knowledge you're going to be getting in the future here, the opportunities for moving forward are going to be through the knowledge you're looking for. So as you seek more knowledge, it'll free up your actions more and your opportunities, and things will come to you as far as opportunities to attain this goal you're looking to attain. Some adjustments will have to be made. Some of those might be heartfelt, but I do see that's the key to your happiness. And ultimately, I see no regrets, and I see a lot of happiness and rewards because of this path you're on right now. The timing is right for this to all happen with the Ace of Swords. Aces are new beginnings. Your timing position is the number 8 position. It's time to make new beginnings, new situations to happen. You're ready for that with the Ace of Pentacles. Procrastination can be very, very deceiving. That's your challenge. But the key to that is more information. The wiser you get with this, the easier it is to make these changes. And then what happens is your real goal is established. It becomes established with the Four of Cups on this action you want to make happen, on the goal you want to create, or the goal where you want to be will become established because of this path you're on right now. So the key is more knowledge, which is the track you're on right now, to take away blocks and take away things that are stalling you, stopping you to move forward. Your eyes are wide open here. You see the world around you very well with the Ace of Pentacles. You see new things. Lots of times people get set in routines and they don't see anything but that. They walk through life with blinders on. You don't have blinders on. You see the world around you very well, which is why you're going to see this knowledge as it comes to you. You see opportunities as they come to you. And you see things falling into place because of who you are. That's an asset. So things look very good for you. It's an adventure that I think will be very rewarding as you move forward. Look for significant changes happening by the end of the year. This is September right now, 2018. But really I shouldn't say the end of the year, because this reading would work at any time you see this reading. So I'm going to say within the next 3 months. This is usually a 3-month period to me. You'll see substantial differences within the next 3 months because of the knowledge you attain and the wisdom you receive. Again, these 3 cards work together. The question itself, how you see your own question. Here we have taking action to establish a situation in a more tangible way, more real way. Something that's true to the heart to you. 3, 4, and 9 work together. King of Cups to the 8 of Swords is not seeking knowledge or getting knowledge to advance forward, to shed away a lot of the things that are holding you back right now. That's why you're doing this, why you're taking the actions you're taking. Why do you want this in your life? More freedom to move forward in what you love to do. How are you going to attain this? Because of your attitude and your perception of your own situation right now in the world around you, open to new ideas. I do see you becoming wiser and attaining more knowledge about your life and about your situation and about this in particular. And I do see you attaining because of that knowledge. So how do you get this done? Through learning more. And when to act? The time is now with the Ace of Swords. So keep your eyes open. Opportunities will come. You're going to get through this very nicely. I do see your quest being something that's going to be very rewarding for you. Just keep going on this path. So I hope you like that. That's all.